concerning the certificate.
Masha, you're breaking.
Certificate will be.
Masha, you're breaking.
Oh, okay, then I will ask it another time.
No, now we can hear you. Now we can hear you.
Okay, I was asking, like you've said, if I've gotten you clearly, you've said that the collection of the certificate will be an physical event, like you have to collect it physically. So I'm not sure, are you having some consideration to those who are not near Nairobi as currently?
So those able to attend the physical event will be able to receive theirs. Those not available, we have your names and your universities. So all the certificates that will be uncollected will be with your university contact person. So what we are going to provide is information about who is your focal person every university, and then you'll be able to collect your certificate when you're there in person.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you.
Hello, Jen.
Yes. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
What about the ones like me? I'm out of the university. I graduated.
We will work on logistics on how you get your certificate. Likely they will also be in our office for those that are out of university and don't want to go back to their universities. So they will be in our office and location details will be provided. Okay, so don't worry. Nobody, like anyone who has qualified for a certificate will get their certificate. And just a reminder, there are some people who have not uploaded their CVs. People, please. Do we have another question? Joseph.
I have a question.
Yes.
Jen, concerning the pitching.
Yes.
Will it be about pitching business ideas, or what are we pitching exactly? I'm kind of confused.
So for EmployAble, instructions will be sent. So I have announced about 2 pitch competitions. The first one I announced is there's an email you have all received on Techstars Weekend. The Techstars Weekend is a 54-hour like accelerator program where you only walk in there with an idea and you leave that place with your idea looking like something you can implement or an opportunity to implement. So that one I said, we are going to sponsor 15 students from this program to participate. So we will cover your daily commuter cost, and we have already paid for the participation because for one to go to that incubation center, you have to pay. So we are going to support those that will like give us the very viable and good ideas. So the email to the application has been sent today at 5 p.m. Please check your emails. The speaker we have today is big time in innovations and startups and venture kind of industry. So I want you to make sure you pick a lot from him because not all of us are probably made to be employed. Excuse me. But some of us can also start up like businesses or innovations or solutions to things that we see in our societies. So I think this is quite good for all of us that have an open mind, like we can co-create and become innovative around circumstances and make money out of it. Byron, you didn't do money. Oh, yes.
I have like 1,000 sign for money, so.
We know one.
Yes, sir.
So that's the announcement. So for the final competition, this one is actually going to test whether you are employable. So it's a like 3-minute video, like you pitch you tell us how you're employable and why we should hire you, but you'll receive clear instructions. Those instructions are going to be coming to you from Monday next week. Are we together? So that is the one for the final competition. That is going to be on 20th August. Something else, I'm reaching out to universities to give us at least 2 students per university to participate in a feedback session where we go through the entire program and look at things that worked, things that didn't work, and what we can do better. That session is also going to be on 21st of July at Kenyatta University. So details will follow. So I am thinking our guest has joined. Joseph, please confirm.
Yes, Jane, I'm here.
Okay, so our guest Bernard has joined, and I think maybe we need to have the 2 students who are to introduce our guest to do so. Then I will take it over from that point. So who wants to go first?
I think I'll go first.
Yes, please go first. Remember our way of introducing ourselves and how we go about introducing the guests.
Okay, so good afternoon. My name is Caleb. I'm Caleb Gishoke. I study at Kenyatta University. I'm a second year, taking statistics and programming. And today I have the privilege of introducing our guest, Sir Bernard Shera. Sir Bernard Chiira, sorry for that, who is a purpose-driven startup innovation and development support professional. And he is the director of Innovate Now, which is Africa's first assistive technology startup accelerator. He also has a global leadership in management experience spanning 8 years, and he works across diverse technology and entrepreneurship development projects with partners in Africa, Europe, the United States, the United Kingdom. Yes, and I think I'll give an opportunity to my partner to proceed from there. Yes, thank you for the chance, Jane.
Thank you, Caleb. Next.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Diritu from JKUAT, having done my career in corporate communication and management. Mr. Chiira is more or less a startup advocate or a startup champion. I first met him in 2016 in Strathmore, his previous workstation.
Oh,
and
I know why you
we discussed matters to do with innovation in disability technologies, because you see, the ones we use nowadays are a bit, let me say, a bit, well, not advanced as we'd wish to, but yes, that's how I met him. I also know Chiira from an advocacy point of view, in that I saw an interview of him on NTV some times back, where he was advocating for the involvement of people with disabilities in its socio-economic factors for nation building, to discourage the pity attitude in the society towards people with disabilities. So, Bernard Chiira, welcome, and we're happy to have you today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brian. Now I know why you wanted to introduce him, because you know him in person. So, without taking much of our time, I want us to go straight to our day's business. And I will start first by introducing our students to you, Bernard. So today we have 69 participants, and these are students drawn from across different Kenyan universities, with the core universities being Kenyatta, JKUAT, USIU, Multimedia, and Zetech. And we have been going through a work readiness program training with them since March this year. And these students, our slogan as of today is that they are employable, because we've taken them through. You can't hear me?
We lost Bernard. Oh, he's back.
Okay. Yeah, so about the student slogan, we say that they are currently employable, because what we've done to them is that besides their academic skills, we've taken them through a curriculum on work readiness, skills training, 9 modules. And besides the 9 modules, we've also looked out for occupational mentorship and workplace linkages, where we expose them to industries and the world of work where they hope to be joining in the next like few months to a few years, because they range from first, second year university to those that just graduated and those that are in their final years of university. So in the class, we have a mix of both students with and without disabilities, and we've seen a lot of inclusion even when it comes to our students, because we have realized we've been able to learn in the same space with and without disabilities. And that also tells us that we are also able to cope in the world of work, where we're able to work with students with and without disabilities without any challenges. So we have a sign language interpreter, and we have Joseph, who is our back-end support person. So please feel free to engage with the students. I know they will start sending their questions on the chat. So our format is usually we get to engage in a conversation where we get to know you, and then we get to know like your area of experience and industry. And then we are also able to like have students like engage you on a Q&A session. So I would want to maybe just get you started and tell us, who is Bernard Shera, besides what our students have described you to be? Bernard.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute.
No problem.
Yes, I was saying I have put on my camera briefly because I wanted to show my face for those who can be able to see. For those who can't see me, I'm seated in a car wearing a very warm black trench coat. It's quite cold in Nairobi, and I'm quite glad to be here. I will request, with your permission, to turn off my video so that we can save on the network. And so that the connection can be clear.
Thank you.
Let me just do that. Then this will be a talking format. I can send you a presentation later for this talk. So please indulge me. But apart from introducing myself and what I do, what I wanted to share with this amazing group of young people who have their whole life ahead of them is some top 10 tips of building a successful life or career in any field. This is adapted from something I just learned recently on YouTube. So for those who are fond of going to YouTube, please note it is also a learning platform and you can learn quite a bit. So I will share these tips because they resonate with my life, and I will also give you examples where that is possible. So Jane, you have asked me a very pertinent question: who is Bernard Shera? And people think it's very easy to describe yourself or to assess yourself, but it's one of the most difficult things to do. But in a nutshell, apart from the amazing introductions that our dear students have done, thank you very much. I want to share with you that I am I usually like summarizing who I am and what I do in one sentence, and that sentence is on purpose. I believe that from a very young age, I was able to follow a path of purpose that has led me to where I am. And nothing in my life has been for granted, and everything has actually led to this point in time. So I was born in Nyeri, Central Kenya, some almost 36 years ago. And when I was born, from a very young age, I was diagnosed with a congenital problem, or a problem that develops when you are very young, when you are born. And it's a condition called brittle bone disease, or in scientific terms, they say osteogenesis imperfecta. And so from a very young age of around 2 weeks, I used to get repeated fractures on my right leg at the femur region. And so my childhood was quite one filled with very painful experiences, because at that time in the village, the healthcare that was available was not adequate. They did not understand what was happening. And at some point, my family moved to Nairobi when I was around 4 years old. And one of the decisions that, one of the factors that influenced that decision was basically to get access to healthcare. I come from a big family of 7 siblings. 2 or 3 of them are actually deceased, and one is actually very recently. And 4 of us in that family have had one or more forms of a disability. So disability in my family is something that we have experienced, lived, and believe we know a little bit quite about. And so like any person who has a disability in this country, it has been a journey of overcoming one barrier after another until where I am today. So I am lucky I consider myself blessed or lucky to have grown in a family that embraced who we were as children. And I want to emphasize the role of parents in actually empowering persons with disability. And luckily enough, we also were able to make ends meet. I know for a lot of people, when disability is compounded by poverty, it becomes really hard. And that is why you see a lot of disabled people suffering a lot. And that is because apart from the disability itself, the factors of poverty and other challenges that we may all know if you have a disability, you know, like discrimination or stigma, all those things make our journey in life quite challenging. But nevertheless, I think with you know, a good attitude and also accepting yourself, and also trusting in God, because everything happens by the will of God, all these challenges can be overcome. So I went to school in boarding school from nursery to class 8. I was in a school called Joytown, Salvation Army Joytown Special School. And after that, I went to high school in Aquinas High School here in Nairobi. And one of the interesting things around that transition from primary to secondary is that I had made a decision that I would not go into a special school. And that is because I had learned quite early in my life that when you finally are on your own in this country of ours, nobody will care to know whether you came from a special school for persons who have disabilities or not. You will basically join a society and meet people who have probably never even shared experiences with persons with disability. So luckily, I was taken to Aquinas High School, and I will mention how that happened before I finish my talk, because it's related to one of the skills I want to share with you guys. And after Aquinas High School, I completed my high school education successfully and was admitted to first Jomo Kenyatta University, where I took BBIT. But then after a year, I transferred to Strathmore University and continued with the same course. And thereafter, my career actually began in the same university, where I joined a new innovation department that was being formed there from around 2010, that had this idea that you can empower students to solve societal problems by using technology and entrepreneurship. And I also started a career there for working with entrepreneurs and basically supporting them along their journey of building a successful company while solving a real problem. So I was there for almost 7-8 years, after which I transitioned now to my current employment, where I work closely with the Global Disability Innovation Hub and AMREF. And we have launched a program that is quite unique in Africa, and that is the first assistive technology accelerator program. What that means is, just like the way you have iHub, NILAB, and all these innovation hubs, we have now started one that specifically supports innovators in the area of disability and specifically assistive technology. But my career is not only those, that I have mentioned. It has been a lot of other journeys in between that. And because of that, I managed to build a successful career over the time. And personally, I've also achieved milestones that we all long to achieve, and I'm still striving to achieve more. I am married and I have 3 kids, and actually one on the way. So I'm a father and a husband as well, and I'm also a believer. So now I want to stop there, Jane, for my introduction. I don't know whether we have any questions before I dive into the top 10 skills I wanted to share with you guys.
Yes, I have. There's some questions on the chat, and I will read them out for you. And Joseph is also going to be able to share your presentation. So we got you, technology. So the first question actually is, did you face any stigmatization and how did you cope with it? It's coming from Josfera Mweba.
Yeah, so I have obviously faced, let me call it, there's stigma, but there's also discrimination. Most likely, or in most situations, stigma is actually driven by ignorance, where people either do not know or actually think that they know, and they actually do not know. So in my life, one of the examples I can give, during my transition to high school, I remember, because I had made that decision to go into a regular school because I wanted to interact and challenge people who do not have any disabilities. I tried getting into a couple of schools, and I remember one of them told my parents, "These people have their schools, why are you bringing them here?" And of course, that was quite discouraging, but that did not stop me from fighting on to try and get access to a regular school. And I finally got one. I finally got into Aquinas High School. So I think what helped me was, one, when you face stigma and discrimination, you can either let it go to heart, where it becomes a great moment of pain, and you can choose to complain or to be discouraged, or you can actually dust yourself up, make sure that if you have an opportunity, you educate those who are projecting this stigma, because it could be out of ignorance. And then do not give up, keep at it, keep pursuing whatever goal it is that you would like to pursue. Any other question?
Thank you, Bernard. I actually think you've been able to cover the next question because it was someone said this, Haron said the story seems to be so painful, Mr. Shera. Sorry for that. And oh, Joseph, you just disappeared with my screen. Sorry for that. And maybe how did you cope with all these challenges at a tender age and you never lost hope? So this question and what you've answered are very related, but there's also an extra question again on you never lost hope. And then like Priska is asking, what drives you in life, Mr. Shera? Like what drives you? Like you never give up. What's your drive? Where is your inner strength, Bernard?
Yeah, so that's a very important question, and sometimes it is difficult to answer it. But one of the things I can say that has been a constant driver in my life is having ambition to basically fulfill the goals that I have, and also wanting to make a difference. You know, one of the things I really love is when I do things that people would ordinarily not expect me to do because they think the disability is a barrier. One of the examples I can give you is I learned how to drive in 2008. That time I was in third year of university. And one of the things I did is during my free time, I used to take a matatu and go to town. And with the little savings I had, I started taking driving lessons. And at some point when I actually started driving, most of the colleagues I had, and these are people in third year, you can imagine, most of them did not know how to drive. So they were quite challenged, but at the same time inspired by seeing that it does not matter if you have a disability, you can actually do things that society, either things you cannot do or has set standards for you. So that joy of achieving personal goals has been a constant driver. But I think above all, the constant driver that I think that has driven me all this time is, I would say it's a gift from God, because, you know, sometimes you can say, oh, it's because I am this or I am that. But when you really try to pinpoint it, you actually realize it's just a God-given gift to have the attitude of not giving up and challenging status quo, and also trying things even when you feel inadequate or you feel they are difficult.
Thank you very much, Shera. I think that's really like profound. And thank you also for honoring us and the students with your very personalized story. I think for me, that's quite important, and we don't take it for granted. I see like questions are flowing like a river on the chat, but before I go to the other questions, because they're very specific to your career on innovation and all that, I would want you to take us through the 10 skills for success in any career, because then we are able to maybe have some of the questions answered in your presentation, and then Joseph and myself will pick on questions that won't be covered towards the end. So your screen is actually, the screen is displayed. I'm not sure if where you are, you can be able to see the screen, but yes, you can tell us how you want us to move forward.
Okay, I can see the screen. Thank you very much.
Perfect, okay.
And we are at the skill number 1. So, public speaking is something that you know, has actually been in my life, I think, a gift, and I can attest to this. There's a quote here by Warren Buffett that says, public speaking is an asset that will stick with you 50 to 60 years, but a liability if you do not learn how to do it, because in this life you will be in many instances where your input and your speaking up will be very important. I started public speaking when I was in primary school, and one of my teachers noticed that I was good in English, and they got me into, during the music festival, you have a category for competing in this area. So it's something that I nurtured when I was in primary school, but it has continued to pay dividend up to now when I'm in my career and working in life. So I would encourage each and every one of you. I know for some of us, we feel that this is a very difficult thing to learn, and true it is. But trust me, if you learn this skill, it will actually stay with you for the rest of your life, and it does not matter in which career you will be working. You can move to the next slide. Skill number 2 is self-honesty. And there's a quote here by Mark Cuban that says, be brutally honest with yourself. You know, one of the things that can actually keep you from progress is having mediocre goals or being too comfortable with, face value success. And sometimes the only way you can get to the bottom of really answering how well are you doing? Are you doing well, or are you not doing well? And what do you need to do so that you can actually excel, is by being honest with yourself. And this does not mean, being too critical on yourself, but just taking time during your day or after your day to evaluate and just check how you're doing in the things that you're pursuing, and to note where you need to improve. So don't wait for people to correct you, correct yourself first, and this will actually get you succeeding, because when you're honest, it means you have put truth above all, and we know that being truthful is always a way to success. To the next slide. Self-confidence. Now, I actually think it is linked to one of the questions I was asked on what drives me. And I say that joy of accomplishing things that seem difficult, or goals that you had set. That inner fire, is what confidence is all about. And this skill is very important, because when you're not confident, you actually miss on opportunities. And being confident does not mean to be cocky or to be very proud. Just means having that inner courage to attempt things or to do things even when they are difficult. And when you do that, you actually will be pleasantly surprised. One of the things I did when I was in campus is I challenged myself to actually run for student leadership. And I basically asked myself, why not? And I could not find an answer. And when I bounced the idea with a few colleagues, they actually were, yes, you should go for it. And some of them even told me before I told them. And it takes a bit of courage to do something like that. But when I actually did it, I was actually quite surprised at the overwhelming support and confidence other people had in me. And I was a student leader for around a year, leading more than 3,000 students in matters academics. And that has been a feature I have observed. Every time I have something difficult in front of me, and I just decide to try, most of the time you will surprise yourself, because you actually have what it takes to do it. Next. Skill number 4 is listening. Now, listening is actually not the same as hearing. It involves you taking some time to consider and reflect and think about what other people have said before you give an answer. Unfortunately, most of the times we feel a lot of pressure to respond, you know. When something happens, you want to respond immediately. When somebody sends you a message on WhatsApp, you want to respond on the spot. And we find ourselves most of the time not taking enough time to reflect. And this can really affect the quality of decisions that you make, and also the actions that you take. So learning to be the last one to speak sometimes can help, because it means you are able to give other people a chance to speak, and then to actually give a response that's not triggered by the urge to respond, but something that has been well thought through. Next slide. Skill number 5 is managing your time. And there's a quote here by T.D. Jakes, and it says, "Don't trade efficiency for busyness." So when you interact with a lot of people, sometimes people are too busy. And when you ask them, you know, why are they busy? They'll tell you they're doing a lot, but how efficient are they at all these things that they are doing? Sometimes it actually helps to focus on a few tasks, even 3, instead of doing 20 tasks, and you're not delivering on any of them efficiently. So we are in a generation that is actually prone to this time management problem, because there are so many distractions, so many screens, so many social media platforms. You know, how are you managing all that, you know? And once you figure out how to manage your time, you'll be surprised at how much you can get done in a day. We all have 24 hours, but you will find some people achieve a lot and some will actually achieve very little. So it's a skill that we need to learn, but it will pay dividends across our lifetime. Next. Skill number 6 is stop complaining or criticizing too much. You know, it's usually very easy to point out what is wrong. So if you can challenge yourself that before you point out what is wrong or you complain about something, ask yourself, is there something you can do about it? And you'll find that most of the time, there is something you can do about it. But we tend to actually enjoy conversations that are just, you know, complain opportunities or campaigns. But being action oriented can help us to actually be successful and to solve problems instead of complaining. There is a lady here called Yanla Banzant, who came up with an experiment, and she chose a day in the week on Wednesday, and she challenged her audience that every time they complained, they should actually deposit some money, give $1 in a savings box. And a lot of people actually found themselves complaining a lot, and they could see this evidently by the amount of money they had saved. So there is actually a trap in that, because it feels very comfortable to complain. or to be passive as opposed to taking action. So if you learn this, you'll definitely be able to succeed in any career because you'll be a problem solver. Next. Skill number 7, being in the present is where the gold is. So this skill is about basically being present. You know, sometimes you want to look at the past and dwell a lot in the past or worry too much about the future or things that you cannot control, and you forget that you have a responsibility for the here and now. So if we can learn how to actually be present, you know, don't be so passive, be observant, even for your health. Sometimes we get sick because people are not present. You don't take time to ask yourself, how am I thinking? How am I feeling right now? And also looking at, you know, how being present is actually the place you can make the most difference because you have control. You don't have control of the past because it has already happened. You don't have control of the future because it is yet to happen. Or you might have some level of control by the decisions you make today, but the place where you can make the most impact and the most difference is in the present. So be present in whatever it is that you're doing, and that just means being focused. Next, skill number 8 is be consistent. And this one is actually one of the most important skill in becoming a master at anything. They say sometimes you need 10,000 hours to be a master of a particular skill. And sometimes you see, you ask yourself, where will I get 10,000 hours, you know? But what we don't realize at some time or most of the time is life is actually a journey, and you are not building your career when you go to school or when you start working. You actually start building your career way before you even go to high school by practicing the skills and the things that you're passionate about. That's where the 10,000 hours are invested. So it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's playing chess or being a mathematician. If you started that when you're in primary school, by the time you are of working age, you will have mastered that skill. So success is actually not a destination, it's a journey. That's a quote by Priyanka Chopra. Next slide. Last skill. Okay, it's not the last skill, but the second last. This is get enough sleep. Now, sleep is something that most of us don't take time to ask ourselves, why do we actually sleep? You know, and we actually rejuvenate our minds, our bodies when we are in that state of sleep. And sometimes I've seen people compromise sleep because they think they have important things to do, but the long-term effects of lack of sleep can actually cause health problems. And that does not mean that you oversleep. It means you get enough. And it's been proven that 7 to 8 hours is adequate sleep for adults. So the final skill that I would want to share with you, go to the next one, is a skill called empathy. Develop empathy. Now, empathy is actually being able to see things, feel things, and experience things from the point of view of another person. And it's a mysterious and valuable resource for the human species. No other species can do this. And it actually helps us manage life issues better and other people and relationships better. It is actually one of the top skills for leadership because it is trying to be understanding and to actually be aware that, you know, the needs of others, or, you know, the problems of others affect each one of us. And for people who are trying to build careers in, say, start a business or entrepreneurship, or trying to build a startup, empathy is one of the key skills for actually trying to understand the problem that you want to solve. And how you develop this skill is actually connected to some of the things I mentioned, like listening, because you can't appreciate what others feel or what they are facing if you don't listen. But it is actually allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to actually be present in the moment, and also to listen to others. And sometimes men are affected by this lack of empathy. Now, empathy, remember, is not sympathy, you know, but there is an aspect of emotion that is related to empathy. And that is allowing yourself to feel and experience things from the perspective of another person. So these skills have actually been some of the skills that have contributed to the success in my career. And I believe we can all learn a thing or two from this. You may not be able to develop all the 10, but my encouragement to you is that if you develop some of them, the good thing is they will last with you and be applicable regardless of the career you choose to pursue. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I will stop there and maybe take some questions.
Thank you very much, Bernard. I am sure that our students have picked the lessons. We will also share your presentation with them. So I feel like, tell me how much time you can give us, Bernard. Then I can be able to choose like quickly some of the questions. Actually, we don't have a lot of questions that are new, but I can go reading them one by one.
Yes, I can give us 10 minutes.
10, okay.
Yes.
So first, it's like everybody says that's quite a journey. It's truly inspiring. And someone wants you to shed more light on innovations on assistive technologies. And I want to add something to that question, Bernard. So a lot of students here, of course, because we've been doing work readiness skills training, the focus has been more on like getting employed and all that kind of industry. But I want to, as you answer this question, you also touch on people who are interested in startups, innovations, creations, and co-creations of ideas, more from an entrepreneurship point of view. What's the space for them? And now you shed more light on innovation on assistive technologies.
Okay, thank you, Jane. So one thing I can say about this option between employment and entrepreneurship, or sometimes people want to be self-employed, is that you can look at these things as pathways to a professional career. Now, when you decide to take this pathway for entrepreneurship, essentially, any successful entrepreneur will tell you that they didn't do it with money as the first objective. Just the same way when you put money as the first objective in your, say, employment career, you will never get satisfied just by money. You might keep hopping from one job to another, because people are offering you more money. But you will have missed the point if you don't answer the core of the question why. Why is it that you do what you are doing? So for people who want to get into entrepreneurship or startups, it is a skill that can be nurtured. You don't have to be born with that genius gene on entrepreneurship. There's a whole argument on whether entrepreneurs are born or made. But the truth of the matter is, even if you are predisposed with some of the skills that make you a very good entrepreneur because of your personality, a lot of the things that it takes to build a successful business, they can be learned. Things like discipline, things like having empathy, meaning that you're taking time to observe, being present in the moment to understand what does the market need. Because one of the biggest challenge for people who are trying to build startups is not solving the problem that the market really needs, or that your customers or users will really need. And so my encouragement would be, of course, there are traits that make you a good entrepreneur. Like if you like taking risks, that is one of the key traits of entrepreneurs, especially people who do startups, because there's a lot of uncertainty and it takes a certain level of risk to pursue these ambitions. But try to search yourself and ask yourself what really moves you, because most entrepreneurs are actually nothing but people who are solving problems and getting compensated or sustained while they are doing it. And there is this world of social entrepreneurship where entrepreneurs are not just in it to solve a problem, but they are in it to solve a problem that really either touches on people, planet, and profit. And in the area of assistive technology, the reason this has become an important area of innovation is because, one, it's a very relevant problem that we might be familiar with, that a lot of persons with disabilities, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, are really suffering for problems that can actually be solved. And because of relying so much on government or on donors, a lot of these problems have never been solved sustainably. So innovating around disability is really just but looking at a problem that is facing persons with disability and asking yourself, how can this be solved sustainably? And because as a country, we are very innovative people, it has now become an area of opportunity to actually solve some of the problems that ail persons who have disabilities, that do not take governments or NGOs. And we have seen this in some of the projects that we have supported, ranging from people who are providing electric wheelchairs to hearing aids to mobility devices for persons who are blind, and doing it in a sustainable way within the frameworks of a business, meaning that the business can sustain itself without relying on grants. So if you want to get into that area, this is the right time, because for some reason, there is an awareness now happening and a prioritization of disability rights across the world. And the momentum has been peaking since 2018, when we had the first Global Disability Summit. So it's an exciting area, especially in the area of assistive products, because these are products that, you know, a lot of persons with disability need access to, but they don't have access to them, either because they are too expensive or the quality is poor, or they are basically are not generally available in the market. And there is a need for market solutions as well as systemic solutions to help persons with disabilities get access to these devices. These devices and products, they are a human right. And so they should be available, they should be affordable. And if we wait for government to do some of these things, it might never happen or it will take too long. So there's a big, huge opportunity. The assistive technology market globally is worth billions of dollars. And there are companies that have done it so successfully in other parts of the world. And those companies are actually now coming to Africa and they want to launch here. So why can't we as Africans also take this opportunity to solve these problems for ourselves? Thank you very much, Jane. I hope I have answered.
Yes, very, very well. So there's a question, I think it's a more of a yes or no, where you said that you did BBIT and someone is wondering what drove you to a disability kind of innovations. Was it because of the challenges and stigma you were facing? It's a yes or no question.
No, I wouldn't say it was because of the stigma or the challenges. For me, this actually happened. I know there's nothing that happens by accident. So I think it was in the purpose that God wanted me to fulfill, because my career was in the business and innovation field, but then an opportunity came and I had to make that decision because I felt like I would be contributing to an area that matters to me. And so that is how I made that leap into disability innovation.
Oh, nice. So Patricia Mativo, I'll skip your question and I will let you ask it as you give a vote of thanks to Shera. So I'll pick two more questions. Bernard, please, with your permission. And
Yes.
one is, does technology lay off workers in developing countries?
Sorry, is that a question or?
Yes, does technology lay off workers in developing countries? So
Okay.
I think the person is trying to find out if technology is replacing human labor and things like that.
Okay, that's a very, very good question. And that question is actually, the answer is both yes and no. And the reason I say that is, what is technology? Technology is nothing but new and improved ways of achieving tasks or, getting the things that we want as human beings. And what is happening globally is that because of the advancement of technology, a lot of tasks that required a lot of human labor or a lot of human intervention are now actually becoming less and less because of the the power of the technology that has been brought about by our generation. However, the one thing that people don't look at, because they just look at the number of people probably being displaced by these new technologies, and I'm talking about technologies like artificial intelligence, for example. They don't look at the new industries that are created by these technologies that still require human intervention. You can actually argue that for every new technology that disrupts human labor, it equally creates new opportunities for human labor. All it takes is for us to actually evolve in our skill set. And this is an area that technology is actually challenging us to actually be dynamic in the skills that we have. So for us that are looking at building careers over the next, say, 5 to 10 years, you really need to ask yourself, what are the skills that will be relevant in these new labor markets that are being created by technology, and actually invest in those skills. But please remember the 10 skills that I shared. It's very difficult for technology to replace confidence, for example, or public speaking, or being present in the moment. You realize that those skills are very difficult for any machine to do. And those are the skills that make you successful in any career. So yes, I know some of us want to be accountants or teachers or whatever it is, but please invest in skills that will still be relevant. And I can tell you the 10 skills that we have just gone through, does not matter what technology comes, they will be very relevant in the future. But of course, we do have what they like calling the fourth industrial revolution and skills of the future. And you will actually realize that some of these skills are related to what I mentioned, things like collaboration, things like empathy, things like design thinking, or actually being able to use digital technologies. So that's how I would look at it. Don't look at it like, oh, now technology is going to replace everything we are doing, and so there will be no jobs. Ask yourself what opportunities will be created by these new technologies, and then invest in those skills that are required.
Precisely. Actually, I want to remind them the story they were given by the CEO Standard Chartered Bank. Like, we replaced donkeys with cars, but that didn't mean like when cars came, they also needed like manpower and mechanics and people to service them and things like that. So like Bernard has said, I think we need to look at what opportunities are coming up and we be adaptable and versatile in our career choices. So there's a question on what emerging technology use are you focusing on for innovation and research purposes? And I want to tie that to someone is asking you, what company at the innovation hub excites you most? So the coolest. I don't know whether it's a marketing gig there, but yes. So what emerging technologies are you focusing on the innovation and research purposes? And then like what kind of innovation really excites you most?
Okay. So some of the new emerging technologies that are becoming quite popular and quite important in the area of work that I am in, and that is in the assistive technology space, are technologies like 3D printing. Sometimes it's called additive manufacturing. And this technology is actually increasing the efficiency in which and accuracy in which assistive devices can be developed while reducing the cost. And this is going to be a very important technology in making assistive products accessible to all, because one of the biggest barriers is the cost element and also the fit for purpose, where you may have access to an assistive technology, but it is not made to fit. But with technologies like 3D printing, you can actually achieve 100% fit and accuracy. So that's a technology that is quite interesting. There are also technologies like artificial intelligence, which are quite something. I was watching the other day. I was learning about how artificial intelligence is actually changing or making it life better for persons who have disabilities, and it has immense potential. The other technology is Internet of Things, where things can be embedded. You have devices and sensors that communicate. It's like creating an internet where devices communicate on their own. And this one is I saw its application in the prosthetics space, where they are actually introducing sensory feeling for people who are using prosthetics. And this is by implanting some sensors that your nerves and your brain are able to interact with the assistive prosthetic, or and that's interesting because, of course, when you lose a limb, one of the senses you lose is the sense of touch. So the future will look very different for persons who have disabilities if we invest now and actually build the solutions that we have the potential to build, because the technologies are available. Now,
Maybe just to intercept there before you proceed, Bernard. I just want you to like also add on like how then such innovations are readily or cheaply available. Are they like kind of affordable? Just like what you spoke of, like the prosthetics that can have the sensory bit, or other innovations, are they available or are they accessible to the market or to the consumers who need them?
So the one thing I would want to say here is that any new technology will actually be very expensive in the first decade or so. I don't know how many of you remember when maybe getting a 1 GB flash disk was something like what? Maybe
order. Oh my God, yes.
5,000. Yeah.
Yes.
But what is the cost of a 1 GB flash disk today? It's probably under 1,000 shillings. Yeah.
Yes.
So what that means is, as technology develops, it usually takes some time before it becomes affordable to the general masses, because of something that is called the journey of adoption. And also there's something around us. When the technology is scaled, how do you also scale the efficiency in things like price? So the beauty about the emergence of these new technologies, even though they are not readily available now, it actually means in the next 5 or 10 years, these technologies will actually start being available. And also the beauty is some of these technologies can be developed by ourselves, and we don't have to rely on foreigners to develop them. And when things are produced locally, they are actually more affordable. That is why some of the companies we are supporting, we are really trying to lobby and actually see how do we get government to support local production, because it's creating that new industry and building the resources that are required for this industry to thrive. But that should not stop anyone from innovating or from solving a problem. So I think you asked the technology that excites me most. For me, I think I'm usually very excited by
all. By all.
No, by prosthetics or exoskeletons. These are basically technologies that, if you've been watching some of the things we see in the movies like Iron Man or I don't know, some of these superhero movies, you think that they are they can only exist in the movies. But when you start seeing them in real life, that is when you realize that maybe the disability sector will be the pioneer for some of the most advanced human technologies we are going to have in the future. And that for me is quite exciting because it means we stop focusing on disability as a problem that somebody has, but as a barrier between your capabilities and how society works. And the more these technologies evolve and become mainstream, the more these barriers are actually reduced. So I think the future is very exciting for persons with disabilities.
Thank you very much, Shera. So the last question is, do you have someone you look up to? And if yes, who is that?
Okay, this is it's an age-old question, because even when you are in primary school, people will ask you who is your mentor, or who do you look up to? And I remember, of course, when you are young, you could only look up to, you probably will never even have met this person, but you look up to them because you like what they do. And because of that, I can say there has been a lot of people in my life that I have looked up to in different stages. So it is not one person, because I have found inspiration and encouragement in many people, including my parents. Sometimes it's even colleagues who you're working with, or friends who inspire you, or even your spouse. But of course, you know, being someone who has a disability and also always wanting to challenge myself, I usually admire people like Nick Vujicic. He's an Australian pastor who has no limbs, but he's probably one of the greatest public speakers you'll find out there. And basically anyone that shatters stereotypes or shows people that, you know, things can be done, I'm usually attracted to those type of people, and there's been numerous of them in different fields. So the thing I would like to share is, you don't need to have at least one person who is going to mentor you for all the areas of your life. You need to be diverse and actually find as many mentors as you can across different stages of your life, because at one point you will need people who can teach you courage. At another point, you'll actually need people who can teach you humility. So that is what I would be able to share. Fill your life with positive energy. And this positive energy comes both from within, but also from other people. And people are usually drawn by people who want to learn from them. That's how you find mentors. You know, if you gain interest in something or someone and you want to learn, you'll be surprised that a lot of people are very happy to teach or to share what they have learned over their lives. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Bernard. We are so honored to have you take our students through this whole program, and we really hope we can continue engaging. I see the tech surveys in the group have started asking Bitcoin technology questions, and I am going to put them into direct contact with you so that you can have that conversation past the hour. I'm going to call one of the students to pass our vote of thanks to Bernard. He has to leave because he has something else urgent to attend to. He actually made a big sacrifice to be in this class. So we will close with Bernard. Patricia Mativo, you pass our vote of thanks, and then we'll remain for our usual housekeeping and clarities that students may have. So Patricia. Joseph, do you have Patricia in class? Patricia. Can I have another volunteer then to give the vote of thanks? I had chosen Patricia, but I can also pick any other person who is. Guys, volunteers.
Can I give the vote?
Yes, Mary Kibe.
Can I?
Yes.
Okay, thank you then. So my name is Mary Kibe from USIU-Africa. I'm studying international relations. And actually one of my concentration is development studies. And one thing that we have basically been looking at is the power of technology in enabling Africa to leap towards development. And that's why I was very interested to understand how can we be able to bridge the gap between technology and some of the pricing and how expensive it is. Like for instance, Konza, which was to be a huge tech hub in Kenya. Unfortunately, things are not moving on swiftly as we had expected, but you are very quick to answer and like show us how some of these things are possible and how young people have such a huge role to play when it comes to developing some of this tech hub and ensuring that innovation and entrepreneurship are driving development. Thank you so much for that very eye-opening and especially among your top 10 skills. You have taught us a lot on empathy and I really loved that about it, because one thing as young people or people in this generation, we get caught up in narcissism, you know, because you're very successful, like you are very successful, Mr. Bernard, but you're still very, very grounded and very humble. And it's because some of the things that you really aspire to have is empathy, you know, and many of us never actually realize the importance of empathy in whatsoever position we hold, be it as leaders or actually employees in a particular institution. So thank you so much for sharing that. And also thank you so much for showing how we can merge a very huge gap of maybe employment in Africa, as well as underdevelopment through entrepreneurship and technology. And you have also reiterated a lot of times that we can actually do this on our own, and we have what it takes to basically develop some of these very innovative solutions to solve social problems. So thank you so much, Mr. Bernard. May God bless you. I feel that is one of the most eye-opening career drills we have had. And obviously empathy and listening more are some of the things I'll personally keep very close to my heart and everybody else. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I don't want to dilute what Mary has said, Bernard, so we will let you go. I will talk to you later, and thank you so much again for the big honors.
Thank you very much, and thank you all for making the time to listen to me, and I really wish you all the very best, and I know you will be successful going forward. It's goodbye from me.
All right, bye-bye. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've really had a good time and a good experience, and now you understand how to come up with solutions and look at opportunities without having to say, like, the internet is taking over our jobs, technology has taken our jobs. I think that was such an eye-opening session, like Mary has said, and I hope that we are able to look in our different contexts and come up with solutions. So we should not always complain. Let us look for solutions. Do you all agree with me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes, we
that
do.
said, I want you people to go to social media and like share something inspirational, at least with Bernard. So Bernard lost the brother, actually. So it was like such a big sacrifice for him to leave people mourning in their home to spend an hour with you people. So I feel like the biggest honor we can do, at least, is to make him feel that whatever he has sacrificed to impact on other students is something then when he comes on the streets of social media, he finds, and maybe it gives him some energy to carry on. You know how hard it is to lose a brother, and more so like the brother who comes after you and your best friend. So, I mean, in that honor, I really wish that we can all go to our social media pages, share the flyer for today and like share something that the wisdom you've picked from Bernard. Is that too much to ask?
No.
Please, let's do it, guys. Let's do it at least for Bernard. At least for Bernard. I have reshared the posts. He's Bernard Shera on all platforms. So if you manage to tag him better, but I think it's just good that you share some of the key lessons we've learned from him. We take like 2 minutes, then we come back here. I'll make a few announcements and then we will call it a day. Patricia, your phone just decided to go off when I called you.
Yes, my apologies. I was like, I don't know if you heard me when I was trying to, like, my phone is going off, my phone is going off.
Oh, we didn't hear you, no worries.
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
No problem. Mary Kibe got you.
Thank you so much, thank you.
So we are sharing something that we've picked from Bernard, at least in honor for the time and space he's given us, even when he's going through loss.
Maybe I could just give one comment then. If that's
Yes.
okay, what people share.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've been listening to Bernard, and I don't know, for some reason I feel like he's the female version of me. No, sorry, I'm the female version of him. Yeah, how his life in campus was is more or less what also has been happening to me, and I'm the kind of person who also likes to give myself challenges that when I choose to do this, I know eventually it will be hard, of course, at the start, but while you're at it, eventually you would win, you become a winner. So yeah, I hope people
Share that on
that
social
today.
media and tag me and tag him, Patricia. I think that is so, yes, it's so personal and special. Please, Patricia.
Thank you.
Yeah, please share that. At least even if he doesn't hear it, he reads it.
Okay.
Yes, I know we are. Oh, I see. Joshua Joroge, latecomers. No, I did not make an announcement on Future Makers Runners Up, but I actually want to take now this chance again. You guys, you know, the Future Makers program is running from when to when, Patricia? Joshua, when is it?
It has started today all the way to 15th.
Perfect. So please join and get to hear what other young people are doing out there. We had more than 10 students who actually got awards, like who got recognized with the Future Makers competition. And we also have actually one of us, I will not say who is actually, who was the best in the competition, right, Trish?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, we have the winner for that competition coming from this EmployAble program and coming from Kenya. We have runners-up people who have gotten like credits worth between $250 to $750, right?
Yeah, there is 250, there's 500.
There's 750. Yes. Yeah. So when you see these opportunities, guys, please take part and apply. So my announcements previously, I will repeat them for the benefit of everyone, is that one, there's an email that came in today at 5 p.m. and the subject is Techstars Weekend. So it's an invitation for competition, or for more of an idea competition where you spend like 3 days in an incubation center, and the idea that you have is taken through the process of brainstorming to business plan to a whole new innovation or solution. So we as EmployAble are going to sponsor 15 students. So you may be among those 15 students that we sponsor. And by sponsoring, I mean We will select from the submissions that will be made, and we will cover your commuter allowance or transport costs every day for the 3 days to the incubation center. And we have also paid for your participation. So there's a participation fee, which therefore means like you will participate without paying for any cost. So, and I know from Bernard's conversation today, a lot of us are thinking which social economic problems can we solve, right? So please make sure you share. The deadline for submission is 18th July. So please, 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 I ask, don't make us spend money and then we don't get the 15 submissions. At least I need us to have at least many submissions so that we have something to select from. So it's open to students with and without disabilities. So it's open to all of you guys. So grab it. Remember the way we've been saying about opportunities that come our way. The second announcement is that we are having so many activities happening. We have a team going to Meru for exposure visit. We have one going to Trinity Chapel for the Inuka Summit, the Leadership Summit. We have a trip, a group that will be going to Action Foundation in Kibera next week. So we have many small groups attending different sessions, and all of you, we are trying to make sure we expose you properly to the world of work. So the other announcement that I want to withdraw is that I had said we don't have a class on Tuesday, but on a second thought, I know what we will do on Tuesday. We will not have a guest speaker on Tuesday, but for those that are really like interested and ready to be matched with opportunities, please attend this session. I'll be showing you some of the profiles that I have from employers and matching those profiles live in that class. But you must have submitted your CV through the link that I shared. Tuko pamoja. So Tuesday class is going to be like more of a matchmaking session for those that are ready to plug into the job market. I have like 20 openings that I will match people that day. Tuko pamoja? Then, who is saying they haven't been receiving emails? Wanjiro Irongo, what is happening? You sent me a message and I added your email. I am not sure. Can you check your spam or junk emails?
You didn't send me an email.
You sent me a message, I think, a message on WhatsApp and gave me your email, right?
No, I did not.
So you're not the same person. Have you signed up for the program?
Yes.
So maybe what you can do, Joseph, please take the email of anyone who says they don't receive emails, and then we will be able to cross-check them with our database. But Wanjiro, you must have signed up for the program. That is one. If you didn't sign up, you must sign up. Two, you must also have uploaded your CV in the platform. If you haven't, please do so, because we pick all the emails from the information that people provide. Have you signed up to any of the platforms?
I already did.
For the CV or for the signing up?
Yes.
For the CV?
I did, even for the CV. Yeah, the link that you sent us,
please
I already
put your
submitted.
Email from the chat. Somebody is saying we'll share the link where we can upload CVs. Patricia and Masha and Mary Kibe, I'm leaving that assignment to you. I explained, I think from last week, you now know I am dealing with 4,800 students. It's very hard for me to, I send bulk emails so that at least it gets to everyone. So it becomes very hard for me to share the same information again to individuals. So the best way is share your emails if you are having challenges with any of the receiving ends, and then we will be able to check if your email is right with our database. The other announcement that I had made before is that will graduates qualify for that as long as you've been part of this program? Yes. I have seen a question there. So another big announcement is that we said we have 2 big upcoming career talks with 2 big giants in the industry. And the first one is with Microsoft. So we have a session with Microsoft on 22nd. And I have said we all need to start mobilizing our friends so that we get at least 1,000 participation. I have assigned a few students in the WhatsApp groups to collect all the questions that you people share and send those questions to me by Thursday this week. So it's only between today and tomorrow you have to share your questions for Microsoft and for Accenture. Accenture is ACCENTURE. So Microsoft and Accenture. So Microsoft is on 22nd. Take note. Microsoft on 22nd, the career session is at 9 a.m. 9 a.m., meaning we will not have the evening class, but we will have the session in the morning. Please understand, because it is because we have different people from different time zones, and this is like going to be like way later for them in the day. So please accept the 9 a.m. invite, and I really hope that we can show up and engage and ensure we participate like we've always done. Then on 29th, so these 2 dates, on 29th, now we have the session with Accenture, and the proposed time is 10 a.m. So those 2 take note. We will be sharing information about that. Then we said the final session with all of us, where we'll have like a pitch competition for EmployAble now, and the awarding of certificates is scheduled for 20th August. And being on 20th August, it's a day that we hope that we'll have a chance to meet all of us in person, and the instructions on how to participate in the pitch competition for the final session and closeout session will start being shared on Monday next week. I hope I have not forgotten any of the announcements. Have I, Joseph?
No, I think you've covered everything.
Then let me see. I see. Is there another? Please kindly share. So the link to you people, all of you have the links to CVs and everything else. Please share with all your classmates. I'll also check if that particular email can be reshared as a blast email. So if it's reshared as a blast email, it means if you didn't get it the last time, you may not get it now. So whoever is collecting the email addresses of those that have not been receiving, please send them to me, and I'll have that link reshared to everyone again on Thursday, not tomorrow, on Thursday, because we have to update the database with the new emails from you guys. Is that okay? But meanwhile, you can check with your classmates and colleagues, those that have the emails, to forward it to you. Then have I seen, I said the graduates, yes, will qualify. Jane Kindre, I have repeated the announcements, so please, I hope that's okay. Do we have any other burning question? Have you people shared on social media? I haven't even checked. I hope you people have, at least in solidarity with Bernard. And anyone interested in that space, Bernard is willing to mentor you. So those in the interest of startups and innovations, we can match you with Bernard as a mentor. So if there's no question, Joseph, I leave it to you to choose the word of the day.
In solidarity with the Chiira, we will sign innovate now.
Innovate now. Wait, I need to see. People, turn on your cameras, and I need to see Byron. We need a post, a sign for money. Innovate is money. I can't see Byron. Oh, yes. Innovate now. Money is this.
So
With Innovate, we are going to have four of the fingers, right? Then from the forehead, both sides, alternating movement. That is Innovate. Like you're coming up with a lot of ideas.
Oh, okay, brainstorming.
Now.
Guys, you can see your videos. Innovate.
Innovate. Now.
Yay, clap for me. I didn't see people doing it. Joseph, can you see people doing it? Or they left? Wadau mko?
We have few on camera.
Okay. Joseph, please do a screenshot. So we do Innovate now.
Innovate. Now.
Now. Thank you and have a good night. It sounds like people have exams. The moods are very low today. Is it exam time, guys? No, is it? Yes, it feels like an exam week. Is it an exam week?
It's next week.
Oh, it's next week. Ndio mnasoma mwa Kenya, ndio mnaunda mwa Kenya.
Hapana, tunasoma.
Mnasoma ama mnaunda mwa Kenya?
Tunasoma.
Finally, Trish is not picking the call from the car today.
Yes, finally.
Joseph, today allow us to hang out here with the girls and the guys. So today we are having another 5 minutes of gossip and then we can go cook.
I will just leave.
But yes, you leave.
So I will just make you the host.
Oh, okay. Yes. We need to catch up with people non-formally. So what's happening there, Trish? Are you guys going to get me 1,000 for Microsoft and Accenture? And I'm going to pay the mobilizers. I am going to pay the debt for, I'm going to pay the debt for Career Talk first. Then I come with the new debt for, if you show me your list of 20 that you bring, I am going to give you 1,000. I know, yes. I have 6 people who shared. I also have 6 people that I picked from social media like Twitter and Facebook and Instagram that were very active in mobilizing. So guys, like Miguna says, mobilize. Sawa? Kwani watu hawaongei Trish, it's just me and you. Maybe we should just call each other. So Trish, I'm also going to share the winners for the competition that we had so that you get me the details of their universities and their full names because some of them are nicknames. Yes.
Yes, sure.
People have exam fever. People, all the best. Believe in yourself. You have done well.
Some of us are just tired of the semester.
You tired of the semester?
Yeah. Like right now we're in week what? Yeah, like we're about to finish. So some of us are really exhausted. It has been a very tough semester, very difficult.
It's been a semester
so somebody like me just wants to finish.
But you've been at home, doing it at home. So I thought virtual is better.
No, we're doing blended classes right now. Like we have classes where we go to school, and there are classes where we have it online. So it just varies. Not all times do we do it virtually.
Laura, you never speak. Okay. Lucy Kamau, please talk. I see you say you consider that some of us are unable to comment in this session because our PC has problems. Can you explain further, even if it's on typing, what exactly the issue is? Lucy Karemi, Lucy Kamau. Lola Were, you never speak. You only chat. Today I want to see you.
Hi, Jane.
Yes, Nakuchokoza, I know you talk in the classes, but now that I'm seeing you backbencher, your camera is never on.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm very shy.
This program is to making all of us not shy. Like we must, yes. Ni nani mwingine amebaki? Kwani the guys left? Gosh. Yenyewe. Gentlemen, are you here? Just fella, your hair is going, I don't know what to say. Everybody has a bad hair. Ha, Mary Kibe. Oh, so you can hear us, but you cannot hear. Oh, you have an audio. You need, so what you do, Lucy, when you're joining Zoom, you need to select that option that says select computer audio. That is exactly where the issue is. When you join Zoom, like every time you join Zoom, ensure you select computer audio. That way you'll be able to hear us and we will be able to hear you. If you don't, then you hear us, but we can't hear you. Oh, Victor Cheriot, say something. Victor. Kevin Mutuma. Joshua Njoroge.
Hello.
Yes, Joshua. Today is our easy day.
Sorry, I'm unable to. Sometimes network challenges.
Ah, okay, no problem. But you can listen to us. I really hope this program is helping a lot of us people. I just hope so. We will not be the same as we were in March.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, I don't think we are the same any longer.
Yeah.
I think there's been a
but
huge
that
change.
day I have a very exciting and bubbly speaker for you on communication and social media and digital marketing. So I really hope she's going to be like maybe the last career drill speaker, at least for the first cohort, but we hope we'll continue engaging. But she's young, she's below 30, and she'll be able to like tell you how she's making it through digital communication and social media. She runs a Facebook platform with more than 500,000 followers, active followers. Yes.
That's really impressive.
Yeah. Dina Ayito.
Hi, Jane.
Mambo.
Oh.
So I think now we have, at least we've caught up. It's not always like very serious. Sometimes you need to chat a bit. Oh, I see Victor says it's helping a lot. We can't thank you and for the job they did in bringing us this far. So I really hope that, yes, we learn a lot from this program. Keep saying nice things about the program so that people then want to join the program in future. Yes. Then maybe, Lucy, you need to have somebody check on your computer because then that's a problem. So I see somebody, Feiruzi, you need a procurement officer. So we have one exposure visit that I'm trying to secure for people who are interested in business, finance, procurement, and supply chain. So if that happens, then you will have an opportunity to meet someone. But yes, it's well noted.
Jane.
Yes.
I also wanted to Okay, the opportunities that you send, I'm yet to get something in my area. So maybe if you get something with gender, something with development studies, I think I'll really be excited. Or just something that pertains.
Are you ready to work, or you have classes?
I have my classes, but like right now I have fewer classes because I have 2 more semesters to go. And maybe I may do it remotely, like, with now COVID, at least these days is that kabahati, like we can just work remotely. We don't necessarily need to go to an office every day. So yeah.
Can you be available like 3 days in a week?
Yeah, I can be available 3 days in a week because Monday, and I have classes Monday, Wednesdays. Yeah, then Friday, not every day because near com service. So I only have 3 classes in the whole semester. So you see my Tuesday, my Thursday, I can do something, my Saturday or Friday. Yeah, or even Sunday.
I'm bringing the opportunities to you guys on Tuesday. Like, I feel like it's easier when it's that competitive so that people don't, sometimes I'm reading through your profiles and somebody tells me I want someone outgoing, and maybe the person I choose behind the screen is not outgoing, then the match is not happening. Then I have matched like 3 people who have eventually not reported to work. So I'm a bit disappointed. So this need to some commitment. Yes, I'm currently looking for actually a communications person, 2 people who have not gone to work, and I'm also looking for someone in, which is this around. I need communication, and I need actually have 1 slot for gender and children person. So yes, but I need some level of commitment because I am struggling so much to get people to onboard people, then they don't show up. And it's draining me.
Yeah, it's obviously very draining, and it's a shame to the entire company.
Oh,
yeah, but I'll try
people
to commit.
in
No, I'll try.
engineering.
No, I can commit.
So yes, people in engineering, out of the 20 slots I have next week, 11 are in technical subjects and technical sciences like engineering, actuarial science, and all those, because it's an architectural design company and construction. So yes, there are opportunities for you, gentlemen. Haron Muturi. It's Haron Muturi.
Yes.
Have you uploaded your CV? That's the first question I asked. I will find your name in the
uploaded last.
Which year are you?
I'm a second year in Kenyatta University of Agriculture.
Which year? What year are you?
Second year.
Oh, second year. But you have classes every day.
I'm a second year.
Haron, you have classes every day.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe then.
Yeah, most of the time that was
Yes, maybe then for you, maybe more of like mentorship and job shadowing opportunities. So I hope that is what you put in when you uploaded your CV. There's something for everyone, you can be sure of. At least for everyone who was committed to doing the linkage survey and will make sure they get Sawa. Someone is asking about universities. No? Yes. So, Whitney Amolo, which field are you in?
International relations.
USIU.
Yeah, USIU.
You're in Nairobi?
Yes.
Do you have any expertise in communication?
Development studies, but you can never know, so I can do that too.
Can you do like communication for development?
Yes, I can.
Higher. So are you going to be, have you uploaded your CV?
Yes, I did.
Perfect. So, yes, there's a chance for you to somewhere. I know.
Thank you.
Then there's a question that does our respective universities, yes, if you check with the exposure visits, we are not asking you to participate directly. We are using your universities to select the students. So yes, your universities know, yes, we have a formal partnership with your universities, and that's why we have you on board. I would appreciate opportunities in perpetual mature. What year are you?
Hi, Jen. I've graduated.
What university did you upload your CV?
I'm yet to upload, but I'll be uploading.
And that is one disqualification. I am not taking, I know that people are still sending me CVs on my email. I created a shorter path to getting your emails. So if you don't apply, if you don't upload your CV through the platform, it's going to be very hard for me. Like I explained, you know, like my desk is always full. I have sat on this desk from 8 a.m. in the morning. So we have to make it easier. We follow simple instructions. Upload your CV. Sawa people. Then I see there's a girl who has Wanjang Gunyi. Please speak. Thank you so much, Jen. I'm always so inspired by you, even though I'm quiet. I'm also open to work. Full commitment assured. Wanjang Gunyi, what is your background?
Hi, Jean.
Hi, finally.
Finally, and I have a cold, so right now I've been joking. I am the manly version of myself.
Ole.
Yes, but my background is in strategic management.
KU?
So no, Jomo Kenyatta, JKUAT. Yes, so I've uploaded my CV on the platform that you created.
Perfect.
Yes, and I'm really, really open, especially to administrative assistant positions, such like stuff like that. Yeah, I'm a dependable person, and yeah, I believe that I've really learned.
Can you be my assistant?
Kabisa, 100%. That would be a great.
Utawezana na hawa wanafunzi?
Kabisa,
na nyinyi? Utawezana na nyinyi?
Utawezana. That's why I'm one of them.
So make sure the Tuesday session you're there. I'm going to I'm compiling all the opportunities, and you see, I know what key skills every opportunity is looking for. I am hoping less people join on Tuesday so that then we are objective. But even if many people join, we will focus on those opportunities that we already have, then I'll keep bringing in opportunities for you guys. Because I also noticed when I share links to opportunities, people don't apply.
Okay.
You see what I mean? So the easier way is really we do this publicly, and it's a fair process.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yes, but as administrative assistant, I hear that very loud and clear.
All right.
Hello, Jane. Can you talk about the internship opportunities? I said I'll talk about them on Tuesday. Sawa? Who is so ready to work? Josfera, yes, it's your industry that I have not found something. I know, I remember. In the fields of project management. Kevin, yes.
Yeah.
So these opportunities I have two. I said I have almost 30 opportunities. 11 are in technical, engineering people. So with project management, it goes even to managing construction projects and things like that, right?
Yeah.
If you understand the project cycle, I'm a project manager. So a project manager is versatile. As long as you understand the project cycle from inception to closure, then there are opportunities for you. Wow. And some are actually jobs, not internships. So yes, I have.
I'm ready and very available.
Bora mta cooperate. Like you will like at least work and deliver. My goal is to actually like at least by 1st August, we have at least 30 of you reporting to work somewhere.
Oh, thank you. That's really nice.
Yes. So my goal is 50, but at least because I have 30 opportunities now, yes, to volunteer in any field. I like exposure, good. What is your background, Victor? And Kevin, your background is in project management.
Yeah, I have a bachelor's degree in project planning and management. And then after I graduated, immediately I went to KU. I'm doing a master in business administration, specializing in strategic management. Right now, I am done with coursework and I'm writing my project, so I'm very free.
I keep telling people any opportunity that comes, please grab it. I can tell you, like my first paid job, I was being paid 5,000 in 2010. Okay, 5,000. I don't want you to guess what I earn today, but I think I can pay close to another, like maybe many people with the same, for many people for 5,000. So you start somewhere. You get what I mean? For me, I think take the opportunities that you have and plug in there. So
yeah, kabisa.
See, don't take any opportunity like something not worth trying.
Yeah, for experience.
Yes. And it's also, you never know, maybe your next door is right there in that company you have refused to go to. Then I have
Jane, hello.
Yes, Victor Cheriot. Hold on. I was calling Victor Cheriot before because I want to understand his background.
Okay. My background is education.
Is education, eh? Victor, the time I asked for people to volunteer to go to a school that needed teachers, did you ever send your CV? No. I remember things. You see, I've been sharing opportunities, then people don't express interest. We have like 4 teaching positions. I did. Did you? The first time that I said you need a teacher and a creative person and a creative art person.
Yes, I remember I sent my CV.
So have you uploaded it now again in the link?
Yes, I've done it.
Okay. You know what I realized with the emails and CVs, sometimes like our work email, especially when it's an email that has never sent me an email before, they put them on quarantine. And that's why I decided maybe people send me information, then it doesn't get to me. That's why I created the link. With the link, everybody who submits, I see it because it's not via email. You know the way many attachments can fill in your inbox, eh? So I must have missed your CV the first time you sent, but this time, yes, I will match you.
Okay, thank you.
Jane would love to get any opportunity under gender, psychology, or anything related to that. Josephine, I cannot read your second name. Please, Josephine.
Anyango.
Oh, Anyango, Nango.
Ber.
Ha, Wadhio.
Wadhio kanye.
Idhi sapa. Wadhi sapa. Wadhi chiemo.
Karibu.
Yeah. So your background is in this gender and development or gender and psychology?
I did international relations, but my concentration was peace studies, peace and conflict studies.
You have graduated? Have you graduated?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're free to work full time?
Yeah, I'm free to work. Very free.
Sawa. Haya. Then Chebet. Today I'm giving you people time, but I'm giving you just 7 more minutes, okay? So Jane, I'm also interested in opportunities in banking and finance, customer service, communication, and information tech. Chebet, I need to keep my ears open for finance. Oh, okay. So like accounting position, can you do that? Chebet.
Yes, I can do that.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So yes, so I think with the many opportunities we have, we will let those ready to grab them. Sini kweli? Hospitality. Yes, I have some few opportunities at Panari. Yes. So yes, I've been looking out for you, people.
Then
yes,
there is a person here who is a slow learner. I can't do the chat box.
You can do the chat box, yes. Who is speaking, please? I'm trying to find.
It's Lynette.
Lynette, say your full names.
I'm Lynette Gacheri. Yeah, so I'm comfortable with my voice.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Yes, I was just I would like to know is this the first round up for the classes that you are doing for the team employable? And then another question is for one to qualify to be a trainee here, must he or she be entitled into a certain university? Because like for the way you're saying about getting our certificates, if a person is not able to show up on that specific day, how can one get access to his or her certificate? Yeah.
What university are you in? One.
Okay, I'm from KU. I used to, but currently I can't say I'm not in session.
Yes, and that's why I said those that don't pick from the universities, we have our office, people can pick from them.
Okay, that's in Nairobi?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then the other thing is that with the sessions, we are already done with the modules and the curriculum. So what we are doing right now is more like refresher and industry experience on the different things that we learned during the modules.
Yeah, sorry, I want him to know. Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay, let me put it like the trainees for the year 2021, is it the first group or have there been other groups?
No, this is the first cohort.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is the first cohort. So we are employable 1.
Yeah.
Someone says they missed the class on CV writing. And so I said in the last class, Sarah, if you click the link on the previous class recordings, you will find all recordings for all other classes. So if you need to do like a refresher on that, please go back there. And we also, on the link to upload your CVs, there's even a template that I shared that can guide you on how to do your CV. So please, I have done everything possible to do nice resumes. And I know most of you can agree to that.
Hi, Jen.
Yes, Sarah.
I tried to check on that link on YouTube. I could not find it, the specific one that was talking about the CV.
Lazima uangalie juu hapo, labda uliangalia before ikuwe uploaded. So for example, today's class will be shared on Thursday. The link to today's class will be shared on Thursday. So what you need to do is check the date we did the CV class.
Yeah, I checked and I sent an email.
Hold on.
Okay.
check the day we did the CV class. Then check the email for the next class that came after that one. Then you tweet that link.
Okay.
You get what I mean? Like if we did the CV class on 17th, then the next email that you receive always has the link to the previous class.
Yeah, I did that, but I watched all those videos that they were on YouTube, but there is none that was talking about CV writing. So I wondered.
Don't say there is none, because there's even a class that was done by what is her name? Lucia Maura did a class on CV writing. I did a revision class on CV writing myself, and they are all there.
Oh, it's okay.
Yes, so unless you have like something very specific that you may require me to support you on, then you have to write an email with a subject. One. So be very clear on what your ask is on that email, but not me to help you find that particular class, because that one I am 100% sure. But if you need like specific guidance on CV, if you're feeling like maybe there's somewhere you're not clear about it, then you can definitely like write to me very specifically, so that at least, you know, I don't have to keep doing something that is already done, but more personalized support. And I think Mary Kibe is in this class. She knows, like, she was very clear what she needed help in, and I was able to support her and many other students. So don't feel overwhelmed that sijaweza kufanya. Just be very clear on your ask. Is sawa?
Okay, sawa, thanks.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, people. Now I am hungry. I can vouch for Gunyi Stephanie. She was our class rep in JKUAT. Okay, Gunyi, you have a job. Very organized, smart, great communicator, really solved our issues. Sawa. Thanks, Laura, means so much. Okay. That requires the interns to raise some money. What? You are in an internship that requires you to raise some money.
No.
Florence,
Yeah.
explain this.
So I got this internship opportunity. I'm like, I got an interview, but I've not yet started. But they need you to. It's like a non-profit organization. So you are supposed, like, one of the requirements is for you to fundraise a certain amount of money during the internship. And then now that's why I was getting like.
Through which channels, like, exactly?
How I got the internship. It's the school. Our school recommended it. Like they usually send opportunities to the emails. So I got it from
I
there.
think for me, like any opportunity that you feel skeptical about, also don't take it.
Yeah.
From personal experience, because then it just means your passion and purpose is not aligning to that job.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
So what is your background?
Marketing, business administration, concentration in marketing.
Yeah, so if it's an internship, you need to like, that's why if anybody who uploaded their CVs are very clear, there's even a question on why we should match you and with what, you see? So because sometimes we study something and we want internship in a different industry. So that also helps us know where to place you, so that we don't place you where your passion isn't. Because our joy is to see people plug into what they care about in life.
Okay.
Yes,
but I have uploaded mine. I uploaded mine among the first people.
Okay, I will. So that's why I said there's Tuesday class.
Yes.
We are getting the matchmaking live on studio, and I will use that database.
Okay.
So that you see how my day looks like on a day-to-day thinking of all students.
Yes.
Sawa.
Thank you.
Aya, people, now can we end the meeting, please? Sawa. Today we have enjoyed this closure session.
Yes, thanks for taking the time to hang out with us.
I haven't, now people who are like, I'm an extrovert people. So I am suffering working from home. So any chance I have to see people like you, I am very happy to like catch up and hang out. It felt so real.
Thank you. We enjoyed it as well.
All right. And Wanja Nguni, moving forward, no saying that I don't like speaking. You people will be speaking. Sawa? Kwanza nimewajua sasa. Mtaona the next session. Nitakuwa nawaita na majina. I was writing your names.
Tutaitika.
Sawa basi, bye bye.
Good night. Bye. Good night.
Bye.